Yeah, come on. You're just looking for somebody to sleep on, huh? Why is it always me? Hmm?
Adu
What's it mean?
Musk is now live.
What's it mean for?
Streaming Just Chatting, Ads Adventures. Thanks for tuning in, hope you enjoy. To stay up to date with the latest news and information, join us on the Discord at Video Game Film Frames. At everyone, new video is out.
Alright, I know that other bot's gonna interrupt me in just a second. But I'm getting ready to work on something. I want to start work on a wall, and gotta make some adjustments for a friend of mine's base. I'll be popping back into. I was hanging out with some buddies and chilling in a chat. I'll pop back into that in a second. There's a lot of background noise going on right now, so I didn't want to have that background noise going while I was doing my intro and shit. So before normally I would have everything all queued up and ready to go, but I actually want to show something this morning or this afternoon rather. I woke up kind of late. I want to show something that I normally don't to show what I'm working with. So my system is really, really low end. Like it's pretty fucking old. Like I'm working on like an i3 with like I think 4 gigs of RAM. I think it's pretty small. Let me double check that. I think I'm telling. Let's see. Yeah, about 8 gigs of RAM. Yeah, 7.9. Yeah, so my my i3 core for my CPU only goes up to about 4 gigahertz. So it runs at like 340. So it's really small. My whole point to this being I'm running on a really low end system and I want to show you what you can do to cut down your resources to make these things run really, really well. Not really well, but well enough that you can make whatever adjustments that you want to. So I'm gonna start this screen from scratch. Let's pop over to my Trado editor screen. Okay, so here's the normal. This is the screen that I normally use for my layout, right? And the two things that I pull up, and these are just me things. Matter of fact, while I'm going through this, I'm gonna go ahead and fire up Steam. I forgot to fire up Steam to get the launcher. Fire that up. Get that going in the background. So first thing I'll pull up is going to be the file where all your edits for the DayZ editor are kept. Okay, so you'll open up just any file explorer and you'll go to documents and you go to DayZ right here. And this editor right here is where it saves everything from the DayZ editor. Now, the way I do mine is I pop it to by the date it's modified. The reason that I do that is because I'm going to take it and I'm going to put it right up. Oops, nope, I'm not trying to stretch it. I'm going to put it right up here. Pull my mouse over here and I'm going to line it up in such a way. Move this. I'm going to line it up. Really, again, I'm going to line it up in such a way that I only see, son of a bitch, I don't need that crap. I'm going to line it up in such a way that I only see the names and the dates because that's all I'm really concerned with. And the reason is when I'm working in things, I use these DZEs while I'm working. I don't turn it into a JSON until I get it complete. So in the meantime, I keep it as a DZE, and this will show me when it auto updates, when it auto saves, it'll show me the timestamp. In case anything goes wrong and my app crashes, it shows me when my last save was, so I can kind of track in my head how long since I've worked in it versus what time it actually is now so that I know which two I'm jumping between. The second thing I'll do, and let me go to my library and let's open up DayZ. I don't see any updates for this. So let's fire that up. We'll close out Steam. Don't need that anymore. It's going to fire up two kinds of things. Now, this is just something that I do, but I do recommend that everybody do this, especially when it comes to updates and shit. Like, look right there, there's an update. Okay, so this is one of the instances that you do want to do this. This folder under the documents, DayZ, and the editor, this particular folder will, if anything goes wrong in the software, it will overwrite this folder. So I always suggest, and I have right here, my DayZ editor backup, right? I'm going to take this. This is my normal backup. I make a second backup somewhere else so that I never lose my work, because it absolutely will. So I'll delete the one that's currently here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a backup of this one. So I'll copy this, the whole thing as is. And if anything goes wrong, I place it right back in. And then I can just take the file for the backup that I'm making here and pop it right back to it. So since I'm relatively done with this, move this over to where I need it again.
Add everyone. Ado Musk is live.
There's my other bot. Okay, so now I got that in place. My backup is made. Everything is safe, right? That updates all my work. Second thing I want to do is I'm going to update DayZ itself. So we'll go to mods. Now, normally for um, for the editor, you would normally have these builder items turned on, but on the PS4 servers, you can't use any of the builder items anyway. So normally you would need this turned on. I don't. I turn it off because it takes all of the builder items out of the list, which are all items that I can't use anyway. This eliminates any confusion of me accidentally using any of the wrong items. So what I do before I get started, since I know there was an update today, I'm going to hit these three dots and I'm going to say repair. It's not actually repairing. What it's doing is it's double checking for updates. Anytime there's an update, there is a large potential for things going sideways or things going wrong, which I suggest keeping up to date with the DayZ editor Discord made by Dabs, who was the dude that made all of these. Now, even though I don't use the builder items, I do go ahead and update them just to make sure. See, like that one, when it takes a long time like that, that's how I know it actually did have something to repair. Now, all these other things are something else, but I'm going to go ahead through the list and repair them all anyway, just to make sure there's no updates. The last one. The other ones are made for making videos and stuff. Well, this one's not. This one and this one are made for the experimental servers. This one goes to the regular DayZ editor, and this DayZ editor loader is actually for making videos and stuff. But I'm not doing any of those things. So, lastly, after I've updated everything and after I've made my backup, I'm gonna hit play. It's gonna launch the actual app. Right now, I know this looks awkward the way I've got things listed out, but I have them like this for a particular reason. Next, I'm gonna pull up my processes here. And I'm going to get ready to line up my performance because I like to keep tabs on my system as these things move. I like to make sure that if my system starts to act funky or starts to do weird shit, I can see it as a tab. Okay, but before I do that, one of the first things I do is I go to the apps here. It says not responding right now, but it is. It's loading. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the details for it. I'm going to scroll over here, and in the details, I'm going to put it at a high priority. Set priority high. That way I know this comes to the forefront of what I'm doing. Then I'll set it back to where my performance is. What I'm going to do is I'm going to key it right about here. By having it right about there, I can keep up with everything that I need to. Right. So when I've got this highlighted, I can still see the status of my CPU. I can still see the latest save that got made to this. Next, I'm going to show you how to lower the editor for low systems to make it pull off of your CPU as little as possible. so that you can still run it and maintain and build right without having to deal with a lot of lag or a lot of problems. Poor little thing, you just want somewhere to sleep, don't you? Daddy won't be still. Shut up. I'm sorry. You just gonna have to wait. It ain't nowhere near bedtime, little guy. I have to roll some cigarettes here in a minute. I'm gonna start working on the wall. I don't think I'll finish the wall today, but hell, who knows? I might, just because it shouldn't really take me very long at all, since there's no weird angles or anything for it to set at. Should have popped up by now. Being a little extra slow today. To be honest, I'm not even sure if I'm gonna be able to get into it because they said there was supposed to be an update today, and I haven't heard anything about it. So it is very possible because every time there's an update, it it gets tangled up between Bohemian, Atrato, and Dabs. And those three things until they all work together properly can give me a lot of shit. So it can sometimes wind up just me waiting for the three to get right. If they're not working right now, I'm just gonna bypass it altogether. I'll just do something else for a little while. There we go. Give it a second to load. When you start hearing the sound effects, that's generally how you know it's fine. Okay, so one of the first things I do personally is I go into the settings. Two things you want to make sure. One, that all of your graphics are turned all the way down to either poor, disabled, or low. So everything is as low quality as possible because how you build it does not matter, right? You don't need sharp graphics and shadows and lighting and all of that extra shit when you're building something. You're going to have the basic structures there for what you need, so you don't need high-end effects when you're building. So turn all that shit down to as low as possible. The second thing you want to check is right here in display mode. You want to make sure it's windowed so that it winds up looking like this right here. So you can do these things in the background and you can keep track of your stuff. See, like right now, I'm doing really poor because my CPU is pushed at 100%. So since I don't need to make any changes, I'm going to back out of this. What I am going to be editing is going to be in the Cherno map. So let's load up Cherno. As soon as I load up Cherno, the CPU should drop and it should be a little easier to manage because it's not trying to render all the graphics in that camera and the special effects and shit. Like, see, it already bumped down a little bit. It's already starting to come down. Yeah. Excuse me. And while I'm doing this, I'll also go ahead and drop the link for this video. like I said, my system is old. So that's the other reason that you want this up, is because you can see it clearly in the top when it says not responding. If you've got it full screen, you can't see that happen. So you want to leave it like this so that you see how it just disappeared. So you can see that it, like in most cases, when it says that, it's actually loading. It will respond. You just have to give it a moment, and you'll see it'll pop on and off until eventually, like now, it loads in. Thing gonna put me at some rando fucking place. I don't know why it does that. I don't know why it just doesn't have a fixed place on the map, but it doesn't. So it's whatever. Got mouse back. Give me the map. We'll pull the map out. This is just how I start. Now, but one last thing I'm going to show you to pull down on your resources to lower the amount of shit you will actually see is if you go to editor and you go to preferences, just click on preferences here. Right here, the boundary boxes. You wouldn't think that it would cause as much delay as it does, but if you turn off the boundary boxes when you're generally doing things, it lowers the amount of resources that it has to pull from your PC. So you turn that off until you actually need it. The only time you actually need the boundary boxes is if, say, for example, you're placing items like weapons, clothing, and shit like that. You want to make sure that you have the boundary boxes facing the proper direction for the players to be able to access it. Because, say, for example, if you've got an item on a wall, but it's facing the opposite way, you will be able to see the object, but you won't be able to interact with the object. So you want to make sure that that object is turned and facing the proper direction so that they can actually pick it up. But you can toggle that on and off when you do and don't need it. That way you don't waste any time waiting on the editor. Say, for example, if I've got 1,000 objects that I need to pick up a whole building and rotate the whole thing, if those boundary boxes are turned on, it can take forever and it can crash your system. But if I turn them off, it makes it way easier to use. So that's the quick little tip. So first things first, I need to, let's see here, I need to pull in a file that I took a look at for a friend. These are the files that I pulled from that We Survive, and I need container base one, I do believe. I'm gonna make a copy of this. Copy this, and I'm gonna put a copy of it into this. Blow it up, paste the one I got. Gonna slap it at the, oh, okay, slap it in the top. Okay, let's put it back where it was. Now go back into here. What I'm gonna do is, because I'm basically just checking to see if this is the proper place for what I'm doing, we're going to import JSON file. And what was the name of it? Container base. So scroll down to lowercase c. There we go. Container base one. Import that. And we'll wait a second. And oh, that was actually quick. 325 objects. That's not very much. She said that it was near. Let's go to this. Um, Vibor. I can't see any of the names. Your, I think this is the one though, and it fucking should be. Get a little closer and find out. Oh, that's nope, that's not it. Okay, so let's load another one then. What might it be named? Admin Lake Shelter. No, I'm guessing it's not that one. Flooded Gorka. No, that one. Maybe it's license base. Maybe it's all of their base put together. Oh wait, AKD Vybor base. I bet it's this one. Damn, I'm dumb. Copy. Back to this. Move this back up. Paste this. I bet it's this one. Let's close this back down. We don't need this anymore. And because we don't need any of this shit, we're gonna delete every bit of it. So delete. Got rid of the whole thing. Correct. Correct. Okay. Now, and import AKD Vybor base. Base. Yeah. Say it right. AKD Vybor base. I bet that one's good. Pretty small too. 321 objects. Let's see. Map here. Like it. Oh, look at here. Oh, he did have size changes to it. I'm not going to be able to edit this one. He had size changes made to this one. I could try to guess what they were, but it's not going to come out quite right. I would need, in order to edit this one, I would need the original DZE that he made it from. So it looks like he does know how to do the size changes because he used it on this, but he just decided not to for the rest of the wall, which doesn't make any sense. I don't know why you wouldn't. I would have done it for the wall too. That would have made a whole lot less on the size of the thing. Like that would have made it way less. Yeah, way, way, way less. Yeah, it looks like he blew up sizes for this and this to use as the floorways for the inside. He blew up this and this to make for the thing that you drive on right here. I'm guessing there's another one underneath that goes for the floor with this too. No, I bet that's part of it. Yeah. Why he's got this truck here is absolutely beyond me. That's not even, I didn't even see that when I was in there yesterday. They said they're not real fond of that wall. They're not real fond of the cage thing here. I'm sure they would rather a window or something. I could change this, but I'd need the DZE that he made it from to make it easier. Yeah. Most everything is static sizes. I could guess at it, but if I did, it's not gonna come out
What is
perfect.
going on here?
I'm taking a look at a file for a friend's base, and I was getting ready to start a build for a wall. So I was just taking a look at what was here first. In fact, while I'm here, let me also load up. Go back a little bit. Well, I'm thinking
Oh,
I may be able to just move the base she currently has. It's just called Nuffcake. Okay, let's import just the Nuffcake one. Import JSON file. And was the one called Nuffcake. Import. Let's see where it puts that. Doing that. Let me also grab the link for this vid. Hmm. Okay.
That's not good.
No. Well, what it is there's size changes done to this. So when you load it in as a DB as a JSON file, it defaults back to its natural sizes. But that's okay because I'm not particularly looking to mend or do anything to this particular base. I am, however, looking to move this one over to there. I can still maintain it as another file, and the file will just be right next to the other one. Oof. No, this place is not big, but it looks as if there are no size changes to anything in here, so it should look just fine. Yeah, I should be able to move this, no problem. It has her total loadout in here, which was what she wanted to begin with. She wanted these loadouts to be static. The most common things she uses, so it's got that little swimming pool shit. Which is kind of dope. Still needs a diving board though. It very much needs a diving board. But I can tweak this whole thing. Let's have the whole thing. This, let's move to here. Let's have this. What I'm gonna do is say, find an object platform. This is probably touching the ground, so we'll move it by this whole thing. There we go. Pretty close. Okay. So let me set up the boundaries for here. Might have to twist it a little. What the fuck are these boxes on the outside? What are these? Oh, those are garages. Okay. Okay, little garages for your cars. Alright. How much of that is maintained from the outer world? It looks like these ones are the only ones that depend on the ground being in the right spot. So the rest of this should be fine to set just about anywhere so long as you walk on it. Okay. So it looks like if I scoot it too close, it's going to wind up being in that tree line. I want to get it kind of close, but not, don't want to touch this tree line right here. That's what I, platform point. Yeah, we'll start with this. This as close to here as I can. Gotta touch it right about here, maybe. See how that does. It's pretty good. Okay. And I scoot it. I think I want to leave it just that hair off because depending on what those size changes are, it could touch in that outer rim. So I'll leave it about where it is. I am gonna lower it. It's another way. That takes forever if I do it that way. Do it this way. Hold Alt. Slide it down. What do we say to about right just a hair. Just enough that sidewalk peeks out properly. Boom. Okay, now let's take a look around and make sure nothing is protruding. Nothing is like no plants or nothing are sticking up through the concrete or interfering with it. It all looks fine. Okay, now let's take a look at these doors. I want to make sure that these are actually sitting on the ground, even though they're, I guess, arms to them. What the fuck is that? Be a light fixture? Okay, it is a light fixture. Okay. I'm gonna do it on doors in this area. It's like damn near touching the ground. Yeah, works pretty effectively. Give me a second, I'll be right back. All right, sorry about that. I'm back for a second. Since all of that looks about right, I'm gonna lock all of that. Lock it rid of that so it don't go nowhere. I'm gonna delete this. And then I'll just rename that, place it in once I get the okay from the server owner. Because he still hasn't given me an answer one way or the other. And I don't want to step on nobody's toes, man. I ain't trying to be like that. But yeah, I've been fighting off a cold for uh, apparently the past couple of days. My wife told me, but last night, man, I woke up having a coughing fit. So she gave me some NyQuil, and I passed right back out, dude. I slept till almost 11:30, some shit like that, dude. I haven't slept in that late in a long while. But what is it, little one? You just want to be involved, huh? What are you doing, Daddy? Mm-hmm. Sorry, it's raining out there. You don't want to go outside right now. Yeah, I'm gonna delete the access to this, put this space right next to it, make a save of it, get it prepped and ready, and then I can activate it whenever they want, whenever they're ready. And I can make whatever tweaks to this thing I want if I save it as a DZE. That way, if she wants future changes or any tweaks or additions done to that thing, it is totally possible. That, and I might wind up parting it out too, because I do that with a lot of shit of my own. I'll part that motherfucker out and split it up and make some new cool shit with it. I need to start making some free stuff to stick in the library. I need to really like let go and start cutting loose my creative juice, man. Because I have a ton of ideas about shit that I want to do, but I'm always so strained for fucking time. I never get to sit down and implement any of them. I have a million ideas. Like I came up with three yesterday, just tinkering around and playing some stuff I wouldn't mind working on. I wouldn't mind starting construction on what I'm gonna call. Well, I don't even know what I'm gonna call it yet, but it's gonna be an entire town dedicated to Luco as an event space. Mm, got a few of these motherfuckers. Gotta keep it open for a little bit. Since this wall is the way I want it, or wall, this base. Ever get that link? Never did. Oh, hey, yeah.
Good afternoon, brother. I say to ask, what are your PC specs?
Oh, my PC specs are hot garbage, bro. I've got like an i3. You can see it right here. Got an i3 for the core, so I've only got like a 4 gig CPU and an 8 gig memory. So it's kind of hot garbage. Like I have to run, like that's why I run everything the way that I do, so that I can see it as it's happening. So I know what my limits on my system are, man. I use that shit like a fucking, like you do your gauges on your car, bro. Like I keep them up all the time because my stuff is hot shit, man. Okay, I got all those locked. I can delete these. Hang on a second before I do that. Let's teleport myself down there and take a look. I want to make sure the lip for that doorway is fine. And give it a good once over with the player. Yeesh. Wonder if them floors was always like that. Oh, that crawls all over me, man. Shoddy workmanship. Nothing against this builder, but you can't even line up floor right to make it seamless. A lot of people don't know it, but that non-seamlessness can cause glitches. Like they're pretty good, but they ain't perfectionists. The foundation should be one of the strongest points of your build, just to make everything else level.
I'm running an i5 at 3.33 GHz and a 1GB graphics card, and it does not run as smooth as yours.
Yeah, like I said earlier on in the video, I did show how to make some tweaks to make it.
12GB RAM.
Yeah, your system's way better than mine. Scroll back to a little earlier in my video and look at how I laid my shit out, like to make it run smooth.
Cool.
Yeah, because I showed, like, I just pull the quality on everything down. Because when you're building, you don't need the high-end graphics and shit. So pull everything down, make it windowed, go to the way I pulled up in my task manager. Let me come off of my camera for a second. Let me like this. When I first did it, like, go to your processes, right? And then under the DayZ thing itself, go to the details. And then in the details for the app, just turns the priority and make it high. It'll push it to the forefront of anything you're doing and make it easier. And then I set my shit up like this so I can see that
I
gauge
love
right
your
there.
vids.
Thank you, man. I'm planning on setting up a Patreon so that people can pay for this info whenever they want or need, and start putting my building tips and tricks and shit in there. So instead of just giving away this info for free, people can pay for it, like lessons and stuff. Uh, oh shit! What did I just do? Nothing. Oh, I hate when it gets stuck on shit. I don't think I need none of this for nothing. I do need to respond to thing over here.
Thanks brother. That's why I love watching your streams, you're a good man. My PS4 is busted so I'm out of gaming for a while, need to keep busy on the editor though.
Oh, that's dope.
I know right. You still modding for Pandora's?
No, no, I quit modding for Pandora a while back. I actually left that group. It got to where they were just using me. And it's I ain't got no animosity toward them or nothing, but I did separate myself from them when I realized that I was just being used for what I could do and the shit I could make, and there was never any payoff to anything. You know what I mean? Like I fulfilled everything I said I was ever gonna do it, and then some. And for that, it never came my turn to get rewarded on that. So once I saw it was just being used, I kind of dipped. Even if they won't fucking admit it, like, yo, I'm an adult, you know what I mean? Like everybody
Politics.
else. Yeah, I
Is
know,
that
right?
Roblox?
No, it's not Roblox. I have thought about that though, because I've heard there's a lot of money in designing Roblox shit. I just don't want to have to learn that type of coding URL yet. That's not my style game anyhow, so it kind of doesn't fit in my wheelhouse. Let's see, I need to finish this message real quick.
Oh okay. I like what you did on Mark's server.
Oh, the little tank thing? Yeah, the tank thing is dope, man. I love the tank. That's my signature. Like I made that tinkering around for when I was testing shit, and I
The
wound up
trader
just
looks
slapping
good.
it together. Oh, I didn't do that whole trader. Now that whole trader from Mark stuff isn't mine. The new one is done by another guy, and the one that was in the last one was actually Abby's. All I did was I added him the car lot in the back. I added him the little gas station that I pieced together. I ain't even gonna say fully made because I parted it together from other people's builds, but yeah, I only made my own little tweaks and modifications to it to turn it into a gas station. Is that a little box or something right there, or is that just a pattern in the thing? It's a part pattern. It's like, what the fuck is that? I thought that was one of these boxes, yo. You see how these highlight when you move over it? This one, what? I was confused by that little dot. uh,
Still man you gotta sell some mods, there is a market for it. Been looking at
mm-hmm.
the G-code and he sells mods there and also posts some free mods.
Yep. Yeah, that's what I was just talking about a few minutes ago. I need to start building my free library to kind of draw in the attention for my paid work, which is since I've been teaching people was also the other idea to sticking it to Patreon too, uh, putting it in a language where people can easily understand it and pay for information that's as direct as possible. Because a lot of these dudes get wrapped up in just talking about themselves and shit, and not actually getting to the point of which they're to see. So, yeah. Because what I'm gonna do for now, I'm gonna go ahead and get this prison made as its own JSON file. I'm gonna I'm gonna go ahead and drop it into his Nitrado, place the reference for it in the configuration file. And once that's done, I'm actually going to go back to where the customs folder is itself for this, and I'm going to toggle it off. I'm gonna, after the JSON file name, I'm gonna edit the name and make it say off, and then later, once they're ready, we, me, her, somebody that knows where this damn thing is, because I'm not great with the trail map. Somebody can take us up to where this place is, and I'll toggle it on and off, do a reset from the server then, so that we can test it then. But I'll have it placed and ready to be tested while I go ahead and go to working on this wall that I've got to finish, or start, or rather. I need to, all the checkpoint places, the places that move through between PvP and PvE are going to be the same. So I need to make a doorway that's static that I can put at each of them. Let's see. Let's get this done. Oh, I clicked on this already. I think it's good enough for now. If I have to make any tweaks or changes to this, I just have to remember I can't go any further to the left. Let's take this whole thing. Come on. Take that whole bag. Delete it.
When you got your shop up and running, hit me up. My boy is looking for some good mods and I'll point him in your direction. Last message.
No worries, man. I appreciate the chatter. Yo, I was, and I am, I've actually got a whole notebook here dedicated to the ideas and shit that I've wrote down that while I've been making these things for other people, I've been collecting for myself, and I've not been giving people some of my best ideas for a real PvE, like a good PvE. Everybody, like, I've seen so many places have the potential to make a cool place, and they either couldn't pull it off because of the people or the atmosphere or the management. And and man, I think I can provide a proper balance of all of those things for just a PvE. I want to give people something to do. Events, something you can stream, something you can put shows to, things that are unique and original and lively. And yeah, I think I could make it a fucking dope. I just need to put the time into it. That's actually my very next project. Is one of the main attractions I'd have from my server is going to be Luco. I love Luco. I don't know why. It's one of my favorite spots. But there's plenty of space up there to make all kinds of shit. Like you can do a lot with the amount of space that's up there. And I could almost turn that whole town into an event town to where um, the whole space is like a theme park. Damn near. You know what I mean? I haven't thought of roller coasters yesterday. I don't even know how or what I'm gonna do about that, but roller coasters. All right. Uh, yeah, I could totally do a roller coaster. Dang, I didn't even think of that. Yeah, that's got some potential. Never seen anybody make a roller coaster, but I totally could. Mm, 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 mm. I think that's it for this place. I think she's all set. Yeah, and I'm not gonna keep it the same thing. I'm not gonna put the trees in either. So unlock this whole spot. Control pill. That should give me list back completely. Correct. Correct. Okay. Let's go check through the items that are in here. Because I'm not going to make any tweaks to it right now. I want to make sure the shit's all in the right position first. But after I make sure it's in the right position and shit, then
Been
I'm going
wanting to
to,
try like a hobo town. With tents on scaffolding ECT.
I've seen small builds like that. I thought about that too. I thought about flooding one village. I thought about, making like a tent city kind of joint with another, like a bunch of survivors and shit. Uh, I think I could do some shit like that. Yeah, I want to have like attractions for my map, dude. I want to have more stuff than just your standard map to make it to where you have things to go do. And I have a pre-built entire list of things to go check out, to go see, to take your friends to, you know. Because what is PvE really? That's what you're looking for and shit like that. You're looking for outside of the box adventures. You know what I mean? Not your standard stuff of just run and gun or kill. Or that's the only point that I can see the PvE. It'd be an opportunity to see the world and see unique things built in decent places and shit. Um, this thing's gonna be fine. I'm just gonna call it Prison. Export as a JSON, and we're gonna name it enough prison. Export. Now I'm also gonna save it that way. Save as PvE enough prison. Yep. See, so this is why I list out my folder right there intentionally, because I can see the timestamp here, and then I can mark. You can't see it because my overlay from my camera and shit's there, but I got my time right there. And those were right there, so I can see it's 4:15 right now. This thing made its update at 4:15, so boom, I know I've got a backup. If this something happens, this crashes, it goes bad, it goes fucking sideways. I know I've got a backup already set. Okay, so now that we've got that, I'm actually going to have this, get rid of this project and load another in the background. I'm going to wipe the slate clean before I do it though. Let's save it as a different name. We're going to save it as its own. We're going to call this churn wall. Go save it as a new
Have you done
name.
any caves?
No, I haven't, but I have seen some that made me interested in them. Because you can make your own with that new. Well, it's not new, but like 2 updates ago, an update ago, can't remember how many, had the availability to turn some of the builder items into physical items like these, to where they worked. And the rocks and stuff like that, boulders and shit, were a part of it. And like there was a huge potential to make something like that, or your own kind of tree forest or some shit, or like tree houses and stuff like that using the actual trees. Because you don't have trees, you don't have terrain, as in like just regular terrain. There's no way to lift or raise or lower the ground or nothing. And you can't take anything away either, which is the downside. I wish you could take stuff out of the map. There's plenty of unnecessary places. So maybe let's say call this the wall so I can delete all of this. That's my list. Okay, I'm back to 0. Now let's import. Actually, no, let's open. And I already have a DZE for that. How about that? Let's just import the DZE and keep it this under the new one. How is that? Let's import from a DZE, and it
I
will
have
bring
a
the
file that
new
I'll share
wall.
with you for free. It's a train tunnel for Cherno, but it's laggy as hell.
Really? Yeah, send it to me. Maybe I can cut the fat off of it. Maybe I can make it work without the lag. Some of those things, man, it's just the file size. File size is so big, it's too much for it and shit. It makes it odd. 9 times out of 10, you can take that same one and break it up into pieces. So, like, say you load the whole thing up and download the left quarter of it, and named it the same name, 1 of 4, and then did that 3 more times, breaking the whole file down to where when you install them all, they all still work together, but they're less strenuous on it. Sometimes it also depends on the server too. It depends on how much other shit the server is trying to fucking calculate. Um, what was I loading? Read this thing. Do journal vault DTE. Okay. DTE. New journal vault. Let's import this. It'll save as the new name. It'll still update just as journal vault. It's that project. Cool. Looks like it put me in the right spot. Yep, it did. That's right where I want it. All right. Now I need to make a sign. I need to fill that gap. So let's find the pieces I need. This is directly what I'm working. Could set this up on stilts to get all that bullshit out of the way. Yeah, let's do that. Let's have my got a foundation frame. You're not going out. It's raining. No, you just want to go out there and waller around. Import. I keep templates for things like closets and walls, floors, shit like that if I need a quick foundation or something. So I think I got it in the library and in frames and floors. I need to make a full lettering thing. Like I think that ought to be one of the ones that I put out for free. There's so many people would love to make signs out of stuff, but there needs to exist, or it'd be nice if there existed a preset thing of letters. Just A through Z, 1 to 9, or 0 to 9, just enough to put out whatever you want to put out. And that way people could take and pull it into editor, just grab that alphabet and move and make it their own. You know what I mean? It'd be super easy to just keep pulling that file in and keep pushing over till you made your new shit and then just slap all the rest of it away. Yeah, I got a lot to do with this thing. Where'd those floors go? I bet this is the. Where are they? Should have floating somewhere. Ah, right there. I don't know why I didn't just do that. It just went to the bottom and grabbed it. Okay, I need it up here for now. Let's go here. Over here. Oh, I still like the flat space. What are you doing, Cat? Would you quit? Oh my god. Ugh. That thing drive you nuts, man. Mess with me all day long. Kind of odd they don't face flat. I didn't notice it till just now. Oh, I guess they do. Yeah, let's take all of this. Jacket to this. Let's check. It's just that. No, that ain't. Back. Okay. Now I need some pieces. Oh, that'll pull the pieces that I need. Well, that's doing that. Like that. Goes here. Up. This. The land cat bastion wall is the wall I'm going to face moving this off of. Let's take it right back. Sure that enough space. I know it's a little large, but I'm going to be a little large so that I could sink it. Let's turn on collision so that I can stack it on this object. Let's grab this bastion. It goes just like that.
Bro, what you doing?
I am prepping the wall for this thing. I'm getting the entry points that I need made. Get the lettering and stuff made too, but one thing at a time. So I can set that up there. Set the rest of this off. And let's try to connect to the ground. That'll just raise the whole bit. Okay. Just hold it up a bit. Make some lettering for up there, and that was where I started doing that. I've got to find another object besides the logs, something that I can keep it the same size to use to spell with. I'll find something. I'll tinker through until I run across some kind of land or static object that I can use instead of just your standard logs and stuff. For the moment, I need 2 little pieces of concrete that I can line up on either side of these corners. I need to fill that in. I need the door test camera too. Let's go ahead and grab that first. Test camera on this. So if I take one of these, put it here, then what's the size? Properties. Come on. Being slow.
Send it to you via Discord.
Okay, bub. What was I looking for again? Oh, scale. Yeah, see, they've boxed stuff out different. This box didn't used to be highlighted like that. Let's change from a 1 to a 5. See what happens. See how large it makes it. I should make it go faster. Oh, I know why it's not. But it have collision. Go spread it back to here. Fix that. Let's go down. Let's go forward. Go forward. I'll be damned. Okay. Yeah, it must be lined up after all. Oops. Wrong way. Okay. Oh, I already had one right there. Look at that shit. Delete that. After all, let's have this one again, and let's have the properties of it. Let's have the size 5. Let's double it. Still doesn't look wide enough. Let's go 15. That looks close. Let's go 20 to be sure. Yeah, it's definitely enough. Okay, so long as it's not. Oh, okay, cool. That's what I was looking at. Just don't want it to protrude too hard. Okay, so to the right, line it up with this. We'll make a giant invisible wall crossing between PvE to PvP. Oops. Let's go for about like somewhere right to here. I can leave that. Oh, I can come back to that. Somewhere right there, though. That looks about right. Oh, it's big enough that it's like, what the fuck? Okay. Now I need those pieces of wall to fill in those 2 corners. Concrete wall. Oops. Better. I guess that works. Let's see. Could just use a regular piece of gas. I'll turn it around and make it go through it. Actually, that's not a bad idea. Stick to the color shit. The only problem is it's not going to make the curvature the way I want it to, and I don't want it to dip into those ends. I think I'm just going to run it the way it is. Let's see. Castle walls then. TASTL. There. What am I kind of using? Well, 128. Now I'm using this exact one. So let me have this. Set it here. Since it doesn't have a size change, it should be able to rotate fine. Let's find the proper axis here. That ain't it. This one. That's it. Okay, let's turn it to 45 degrees. The reason I scroll up and down is because there's a negative and a positive. So if I scroll whichever way I need to first and the number changes to a negative, I know to add whatever to it. So let's try it like this. Okay, push it forward. I'm gonna do this by hand, or I mean, the arrow keys. That's how I get things more precise. There's a lot of people are kind of afraid to do shit like that. Let's move it up a bit. Let's go to the right a bit. Let's pull it back forward. On this side, yellow. trying to think of how to gap this and still make it look good. You know what I mean? I don't want to put out no garbage. Have another one of the pieces instead. I want to do it this because I just noticed. Huh, no, it's backwards, isn't it? Yeah, undo that move. Use this one for the moment. The one that I just placed in, and rotate it the right way. So, Tommy, you're just running around at this point, son. I know. I hear you, buddy. It's not going out. You just came in from the rain. Ah, did it just crash? It just crashed on me. See, but luckily, I can see the timestamp on it. 4:34 is the time now. It made a save at 4:33. So I know I've got to back up. I know I'm good. Tell you what, while that fires back up, because it's about to send me an error report on it. Just a second. Move this. Yep, there's my error report. Goes back to this. Wait for it. Put back up again, because I know that save worked. So I'm solid. But even if it goes bad, I got a plan B on this file. Just sent
Way,
to
have a
piss
good
me
and
off.
blessed day, man. I'm off to bed.
All right, man. Appreciate it. My cat is begging to go outside, even though it's raining. All right. All that's coming in. Let's get exactly how it's going to pull up this. Let's go back to this. Drop this. That mobile. Back to this. Go back to the processes. Put you back forefront. Go to details. Set priority. Yes. Performance. Boom. Everything right back the way it was. So all I got to do is load back the journal, pull up that um DZ, pull up that DZ. Got to settle yourself, Tommy. You're not going back out, man. You just running through the house at this point to get attention. Alright. This thing is- It still ain't loaded. Oh, I bet it has. Let's just wait for me to come back to it. Nope, still not. Right. Uh, Drop this. Oh, there we go. Editor's ready. Drop this. Over this. OBS back. Give me the editor back. What? Oh, that's right. Let's go tomorrow. That's right. I forgot about that. This week. It's Friday. Oh, next week.
Hello.
What up? While that thing loads up, I'm gonna prep that prison to be dropped in to that new server.
How are you?
I ain't too bad today, bro. I'm trying to get some things done. Apparently, I was sick yesterday and the last couple of days. My wife told me, but I woke up having a little cough fit in the middle of the night last night, and she was prepped and ready to go with a shot of NyQuil. I knocked that down. Apparently, I was sick because the only time I sleep like that is if something's wrong. And I slept till like 11. I went to bed at like 9:30, 10ish. Some shit like that. Open, turn wall. Turn wall. Should have been the latest save. Yep. Right where I was at. Not quite the alignment I had, but back.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Oh, it's good, man. I feel fine today. I must have slept it off or something because I don't feel sick at all. Yes. This wall. Vision. Oh, didn't select this right. R. Properties. This one. Oh, I need 180. Mm-hmm.
Oh well, that's good to hear.
Okay. Now let's push it back. Out there looks right. Straight. Oh, trying to square off the hole. But I don't think it is. Oh, the fuck was that? Oh man, my headset just beeped. Wouldn't be beeping after only an hour and a half. Let's see this one here. Let's delete this one. So I don't want that anyway. Let's go back to this one. Shit back just a hair. Oh, I'm trying to do is make it right back in. Let's see. Right there. Oh, yeah. Just a hair more back. I don't want to see it. Oh, other side, I don't care what it looks like. So long as it's um what I'm looking for. Symmetrical. Like same on both. I don't care. Okay. And with that in that exact place, let's go Control J. I want it to be right where it is, except for right. Talk about there. Okay. Let's have the properties to that one. I'll flip this 90. Right back. Uh, and it crashed again. It's being very problematic right now. But I'm doing more than one thing at a time. I wouldn't be getting nowhere if I was just doing this. Play it again. Let's try it again. Go back to processes, wait for it to pop up. While I'm doing that, let's finish this. Actually, I need to turn on for Chrome. Okay, cool. Show proper stuff now. Have this back, and let me go to survive. Okay, all this is doing its gig. Let's go back to this, which isn't responding yet. Let's turn it up. Priority high. Yes. This is why I was kind of wanting to wait. I knew it was going to be buggy, even though the update didn't have anything to do with the PS4 servers, PS5 servers, or Xbox, none of that shit, none of the console stuff. Even though it doesn't affect that, it does affect the overall fucking system. Every type of update does. They make minor little changes as it progresses and shit. They don't really say nothing to nobody. Just wait for the bug reports to start coming out and they address them as they need. But that means until they get those things done, we have to suffer through the process of every update. Priorities high, back to performance, back to this, back to what I was doing on Chrome. Okay, we want file browser. Actually, let's do both. Let's have the event log. Let's open that in another window. New tab, and then let's have the file browser. All the while that thing is still loading in the background. Chrome off just a second. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get this editor loaded to the point to where I don't have to need to fix my camera and stuff while I'm thinking about it too. I got the time on hand. Anyway, I'm gonna get this up and just load up Cherno, but without loading up the project yet or doing anything to it yet, and let it sit for a minute while I go ahead and take this Prison Base of hers that I've already finished, and I'm gonna pop it over and prep it, get it ready, and then when later we'll make a trip up there so that I don't put it in until I know for sure it works. I like to see them in person the first time just to double check, make sure everything comes through the way it's supposed to. But back. Um, Gonna wait for this thing to load up in the meantime before I prep for it. I got some little things for the wires. The TV that I use for this third monitor over here, and the one that I work from is it's the same one I use when I go to sleep. Like I turn it facing our bed and shit, and I fall asleep watching TV. So like every morning and every evening, I move this thing, and the camera angle always gets a little bit off. Like you're seeing more of my back than you're supposed to. I need some music. That's a good me when I heard the other day. It was actually pretty decent. Watch so many videos between now and then, pulling that out of my history. But video 4 was like solid black. Hate shorts, man. My history gets full of these stupid shorts. Go. That would go. There it is. Dance with the Dead. Hex. That was a pretty good little beat. There we go. Open. Turn over. This bullshit. It usually doesn't crash that much for me. I haven't had crash this much in a long time. Anyway, all this loads this up, which doesn't seem to be pulling too much from our resources. Go ahead and this. Let's have so it's taking that thing a long time to load on everything. Two of them. Let's open each one. Tab. Configuration gameplay. To spot. Now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, this is it. Last one. So I'm just going to do it from the top. It's the history. Just a custom folder. Okay. Let's go back over here. Go to enough prison. Let's make a copy of this. Copy. And I'm going to put it in the servers that I manage. It's here, here. So for a second. Now, take. Nope. Lost my kitty.
Hey,
What up? I am. Let's go back over here for a second. Actually, done with this. This still not loaded this map, huh? We're doing just a hair too much. Anyway, okay. Back to the stuff over here. Now, I don't usually recommend doing this when you're putting these things into the um, configuration files. Sorry, got distracted. So, yeah, normally you would edit this in Note++, but once you get used to it and you know what mistakes to and not to look for, you learn to kind of do it the way I'm about to. I'm going to copy this line right there. I'm going to paste the exact line. Just go right. Let's refresh this whole page, actually. I don't want to make any changes yet. Because now that I'm thinking about it, even if I do make a mistake, on the off chance I am good at it, I don't want to fuck around and break anything. So just to be safe, download a copy of it. Let's go back over here. Oh, it finally loaded. Go back here to the servers I manage. Regular files. That one XML. XML. Oops. Okay. Download this before. I'm gonna put it in the downloads. All right, do that once. It's the most recent ones. Remove. All right, that's the original. Actually, date it. Older. 23. Something I haven't even gone through in there too, man. Shit, got so much crap to go through, piece apart. Anyway, downloaded the original. Control C. Back up to the top of this. Hit enter. Nope, nope. Go. Go. Tab. 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 Space right there. Okay. Let's leave it like that. See, that should do. But okay. Anyway, let's go back to this. Copy the name. Here. This instead. Go back to here. Now change this name off. Be the only one that says off. Okay. Now this should be proper. This should be set, ready to go. All I have to do now, it's been added in, just made it the one on top. You don't have to do a comma at the end of it. Or yeah, that comma at the end of it. Maybe that's what it was. I wonder if I okay. Right. That sure as fuck would have do it like that instead. Refresh the whole thing. I haven't saved it yet. Yeah, do it like that instead. Comma, enter. This control C. Down by one. Control D. Exactly what you're doing it to. That don't this twice. Instead, this no, I've already turned it off. All I gotta do is take off the OSF. Boom. Exactly the way I need it. Quotations and shit all in the right place. Yep. Cool. Now it's set. I prefer to stay on the bottom of the list. I was just trying to look for because it makes it easier as a point of reference to wherever I put it. Either at the top or the bottom of the list. This, just gonna double check it, make sure it put it in. Is it at the bottom of the list? Shouldn't affect anything. All right, so that's all we need out of this for now. We close that. Got a backup made of it. All I have to do is change the name, restart that server. It's all set to go. So we can go in the background for now. This resource off for now. We'll go back to the editor. Okay. Let's load up my last project. Open. Oh, should do this. Wall. Now, while you're doing your thing, let's make sure that I already put resources up. Tables, priority. Yep. Okay, so back to performance, back to the editor itself. And I know what to drop. Let's drop Chrome because I don't need it for now. And all of my tabs are where I need them. So that less process running in the background. Stop giving me so much shit out of the editor. You're right. Looks like it just reset on its own. I didn't touch it. There. New tab. All right. It should drop my processes. So Just thinking out loud. Kind of a moment to figure out exactly how. Control J. Now let's have this Control J up and I'll adjust negative 60 negative 45. Right up. Fill that hole. Ooh, look. It even blended it just right. Look at that. Three-tier system, just the way I wanted it. It looks like it ain't nothing, but it's kind of a pain in the ass to make all this together. So we'll make another copy of that. J, move this over. And then we're just going to run it to a regular 45 and slide it right back in the same spot. All right, cool. Actually, this is the right piece. What the fuck? Yeah, I don't even need that. Huh, I don't. Huh. So fuck the whole thing. I don't even need that piece. Delete that. Give me this. And, oh, no, no, no. Wait. This, and this. Right? Yep. Dude, let's just pull forward a hair. Make that shit simple. Yep. This one. Right there. Same with this. Let's teleport right here. Take a look at it. Yeah, I know it's lifted up a little left now. I get away from my spawn up there. You can see what it is. You can't touch it. Just do it. Just do how long have I been doing this? 2 hours now. Crashed on there how many times? Don't look too bad from this side neither. Oops. Oh, look at there. More of that shit. I like the kind of horseshoe vibe too, because an upside down horseshoe is actually bad luck. So it's kind of funny to have an upside down horseshoe on the PvP side or PvP. Okay, now it's time to find the letter. Figure out exactly where I want to place bonfires. Well, at the top or one on each side. Mm-hmm. Oh my god. Did it crash again? Son of a bitch. It's got something to do with collision. I'm starting to notice a pattern here. Every time I have collision on is when it does that shit. 526. It's 526. It's saved within the last. Oh, record. Close. Let's rewatch. Let's see what's going on. PS. I'll be right back. holding up. It's holding up. Ooh, what's that? Truck. Gonna crash on me, ain't you? Yep. It's because of collision and simulation. Yep. Got everything to do with collision. Damn it. Just got it going again. Gonna take a break from it. Go do something else for a little while. Don't piss me off. Yep. So been doing this for 2 hours. Had that thing crash on me like 4 times. Time to do something else. So wait for this error report to come through. I was done with this for now. Do something else for a little bit. Save us up to the homies or something. That turn off Steam. Actually, I might take a break from this completely. Go eat and watch something. Yeah, I think I'll eat, chill for a minute, and then pop back up here and if you play something. I think I want to play more of that Dead Space type shit. I don't know why this ain't closing. There we go. That's closing. I'm gonna go ahead and prep my next setup though. Play up and going. Put in the proper place along with this I usually have here. Mm, cool. Now my next setup's all ready. All right. And I'll be back to this bullshit here in a little bit. I'm gonna eat and chill for a few minutes, and I'll come back and play something like an hour or so. Maybe. Watch me wind up taking a break and coming back to the fucking editor. But yeah, but I've been cutting at this for about 2.5 hours. Yeah, that's enough to be that much frustration in such a short amount of time. Yeah.